There she is.
Hi, Dorinda.
Hey, how are
No,
you?
let me tell you. So what happened is they have turned where I work in a rehab. They turned our rehab into a rehab for COVID-19.
Wow.
So my doctor told me, because I have asthma and I'm old, I don't need to be in that. Y'all let them young people do that. I'm not doing that.
True.
When he called me, I immediately started acting like I had the cough, so they didn't want me to come back.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you ain't going back. Yeah, you need to take the whole 3 weeks. The whole 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Well, we didn't even do an intro. I am here with the Clark sisters. This is amazing. This is really amazing. You guys are literally like my favorite group of all time. I don't think you guys know how revered you are, and not just gospel, but like everybody. Everybody loves the Clark sisters. Like,
thank you. We excited.
I'm so excited to be talking to you. This movie tomorrow. Oh my gosh, we just waiting. Everybody's waiting for Saturday.
Yeah.
We've been talking about what we're gonna eat. The snacks we're gonna have. It's just so cool.
Did you see that man that was in his car? He was preaching, telling people to watch it. He said, "Get your snacks and get your pop." He playing that, that what you call it, that techno thing where you can press the music when you preaching.
Yeah.
He did that on it. That thing was so funny.
That is hilarious.
It was funny.
And I'm here with Jacky and Dorinda. Hi, Dorinda.
Hello there. How are you?
Good to see you. All right. So the first question I'll direct to you, Dorinda. This movie is highly anticipated tomorrow. Everybody's so excited. Were you all on set during, like, did you see, everybody in motion while the movie was being, taped?
We didn't see the whole thing. We only went in one day, and we were able to see some of the scenes, but not all of the scenes until, we were actually able to see the whole movie. But no, we were on the set with them for one scene, and it was just amazing to see how all of that was coming together, and to see these girls. Oh my God, Shalea, Christina. Oh, Jesus. And it was something to see, because, you watch movies and we're constantly watching them every day, but to actually see, no, this is really us.
Yeah.
It was mind-boggling to see that.
Yeah. And then you have people like Mary J. Blige, Missy, producing it, and Queen Latifah. Like, this is a big to-do. When they came to you guys to do this, was it like a big family meeting that you guys had to, like, all right, it's about to be a movie on our lives? Like, how did that?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of conference calls, and we definitely got a kind of shout out. We can't really talk about the movie without shouting out Holly Carter, who was the engine behind this whole thing. Holly has been working on this thing ever since Unsung, because she is the engine behind that, Mm-hmm. And so when she was pulling all this together, she says, I'm thinking, because she's always brainstorming. She says, I'm thinking about trying to do this movie. I'm trying to see if we can pitch it to a network. And then when she said, we said, Holly, are you really sure? She's like, no, seriously. So her and, of course, Bishop, because, Bishop was really kind of managing us right into here because of the Carew records and all of those things. And so her and Bishop got together. And so they started negotiating and started talking about it. And so that's how it really kind of started. But Holly saw this from day one. And from, I guess, Unsung was the pitching tool to say, oh no, these girls really need to put their life on screen.
Yeah.
And that's how that happened.
Yeah, because y'all was like the first Unsung, I believe, when they rolled
out.
Yeah, we were first, right?
Yeah, for gospel.
Yep. Now, Jacky, I'm jumping around here because I'm such a fan of you guys. This album, oh my gosh. Yeah, first of all, I'm so happy. I started Root Magazine 11 years ago. And one of my regrets at the time was, like, I always wanted to have you guys on the cover, but y'all had retired. with
We ain't retired. Who told you that?
Well, live one last time. When y'all say live one last time, I'm just like, all right, there's no more albums.
Right, you said that.
So I was upset. I was mad. And I remember interviewing you guys on the red carpet of BMI Awards. And I was just like, y'all need to come back. And Jacky was like, well, we might. I said, y'all need to name the album Encore. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea.
That would have been good.
Yeah, Encore.
So,
Yeah,
I thought that would have been dope. But y'all back like 14 years later with a new project. And it is so innovative. Like,
wow.
to team up with Ronnie Jerkins and Jermaine Dupri, but still have that Clark sound. And Jay Drew is a beast.
Yeah.
Like, it's so great. And I love the way, even after 40 some odd years in the industry, how you guys stay on the pulse of what's going on. So tell us, Jacky, tell us a bit about the process of recording and getting back in the studio with your sisters.
I think the most important thing is to realize that what we do in ministry is our passion, and it's real, and it's obvious to see that and to hear that, but more importantly to correlate it with where we have been and how relevant and how current we stay throughout the years. We've been singing a long time. We are the only group that is still together today, as you knew us from the inception. So I think that with the way God has strategically mapped our life out, this is where we are today. We've never stopped singing. We have never stopped singing. It was 10 years exactly from the last recording that we did when we won the Grammys until this album came out. So it's been 10 years. So you figure, look at what has happened in our life. And it was nothing but God's plan for it to come out when it did, because it came out right before the movie came. And so with that being said, with the movie coming out, and then Dorinda made a comment yesterday, which is so very, very true and very vital, is look at where we are today. Nobody can go to the movie theater. So had they made it a movie, we wouldn't have been able to see it.
I know, right?
But because everybody is still is home. Everybody's home now. Even the people that wouldn't have seen it is going to see it. And the reason why they're going to see it is because there's nothing else to do but watch TV. So tomorrow, if you got Lifetime, and if you don't have it, you need to subscribe. But it was all God's plan. That's all I'm trying to say, is for it to happen the way it did. So tomorrow, everybody will get a chance to see it because they're going to be home. Had it been a movie, it would have been pushed back. But look at what God does.
Look at God. That's true. And you guys are going to break records tomorrow because there's going to be more people in the house watching it. Y'all going to break records for Lifetime. Watch what I tell you.
Big man of God.
I'm a prophet.
I need a cash out.
Right.
That's right.
But you are so right about that, because that was one of the things that I had prayed for, because I know that we were really planning a lot about trying to get this done, about all the premieres that we were trying to work on, the red carpets. I mean, we had red carpets almost in every major city, and even here we were going to do it big in Detroit, but when the virus hit, we had to cancel everything. So that was my prayer. Lord, please let it just have let's shatter ceilings and break glass and just because especially when it being gospel.
The scripture that comes to mind is God, the devil meant it for evil, but God turned it around for our good.
Good, that's right.
He turned that thing around. Did he turn it around?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Like, even with the Stellars, like I said, I've been waiting for years to have y'all on the cover. I'll finally get y'all on the cover, and we're gonna put it at the premiere, at the Stellars and all that. And this happened, I just wanted to cry. I was like, what?
Right.
But God's gonna work it out. We're gonna come back to the Stellars.
Yes,
y'all gonna get
he is.
in August, and we're gonna still print the magazines, and it's gonna be all good. And the movie's gonna break records, and it's gonna open doors for other gospel commission or the Winans. Like, I think it's gonna open up more doors. So that's great. I want to play a little game. I interviewed Kiara yesterday for like almost 2 hours on Instagram Live, and we played a little game. I thought of a new game to play with you guys.
Okay.
It's called Who Is.
Okay.
So it's I'll start with, oh, you can probably jump in, whoever wants to. Who is the funniest Clark sister?
Jacky.
Jacky, yeah, I do it. Who is the most spiritual Clark sister?
Dorinda.
Dorinda. Lori. Who is?
She can really pray.
She can pray. Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen
Lord
Dorinda in
Jesus.
action. I've seen
Oh,
it.
God.
Who is the most? Who is the most frugal?
Most frugal.
Twinkie.
Yeah.
Twinkie?
She
Twinkie.
saves everything. She ain't. If we buy her something new, she not wearing it. She saving it.
She's saving it. That's good.
Right.
She's saving. She's still saving it.
Matter of fact, she's saving stuff up for coronavirus.
I know that's right, Twinkie.
She's saving a whole lot. She's saving all the clothes. She's saving all of. She's going in her cabinets and she's seeing what she's got up there. She's storing up. We may not be, but she is.
No way. So Twinkie is
What's
really
up to tell you?
Who is the shopaholic?
Karen.
Karen?
And Dorinda's second.
Dorinda second?
Karen.
Okay.
Karen is first though, but Dorinda's second.
Dorinda second. Who is the most sensitive?
Jacky.
Yeah.
For sure.
Really, Jacky?
For sure. Yes.
You'll cry at the drop of a hat?
Right.
Well, you know,
she's the oldest, so she's a spoiled baby. She's a spoiled. She's the oldest. She's the first sister.
I am not spoiled. You know
You're not spoiled. Because your birthday is around the same time as mine. Like, we a lot alike.
That's right.
When is your birthday?
My birthday is New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve?
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Who what?
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What's your birthday?
New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve.
Oh, you Bishop. Okay.
Yeah.
Bishop is New Year's Day
Bishop
too.
New Year's Day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Who is the fighter?
Me. I'll fight in a minute.
No.
You talk about my sister.
No,
and watch
Niecy.
me. Say something about my sister.
Niecy. Now she will look. Niecy will fight. Now she'll fight. She'll fight for her sisters. She'll fight. She will.
I love it. Who is the protector?
Me.
Nikki. I mean, Jacky.
Jacky. I figured Jacky. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the most sarcastic?
Karen.
Probably me.
You and Karen?
Yeah, Karen. Yeah.
I would say after
watching. You're right, Dorinda. You're right. Hasan, she is. Karen would be the most sarcastic. She would be.
Jacky, I was gonna say you. After watching that Terrell episode, yo, when I tell you I was in tears.
Me too.
Dorinda, that Terrell episode on YouTube, you gotta watch Jacky's facial expressions like the whole time. It's pure comedy. It was even one time at the end of it, Dorinda, you like ending it and like, oh, go to YouTube and I think you messed up a word or something. She was like, and me and my daughter rewinded it.
Right, that's
it. But wait, okay, so after all of this, I hope I get a new career now. I'm gonna have to go back to work.
I think you are. Who is the most giving?
The most giving.
Like Christmas time, we like to give
gifts.
Dorinda and Karen are probably the most giving. I think both of them would be the most giving. I do. Yeah, because Dorinda, if you give her a cracker, she's gonna give you $1.
That's so
nice.
Sweet, sister.
That's so sweet.
Her and Karen are both. And I think the reason why I say that is because you don't see it, but working in ministry with them at our church, they are the most giving to everything that we do. I just chime in when I need to. Brenda, move your finger. What is you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. These things keep popping up. Okay, go ahead.
I have one more. Who is the most tardy?
Dorinda, by far.
What?
With an Oscar, with a Tony, with a Grammy,
Father, I stretch my hands to thee.
See?
We gotta pray for the preacher.
Okay, wait. Hasan, wait. Who was with you first today? Who came on with you first today, Hasan?
You, Jacky.
So
Jacky.
You know.
Okay, I rest my case.
Jacky.
Shut up,
Jacky.
Hasan.
At least. Look, the reason Dorinda came on, Twinkie's like, I ain't doing none of this.
Right.
Karen is off with Kim Fields. I'm gonna get her.
Right. But wait, but in Twinkie's defense, let me just say that she is sick. I thought she had the vibe until she came to my house the other day to get a box. Came over, she said, Jacky, I'm outside. And I'm getting ready to come in. I said, no. She started coughing. I said, no. Don't come in my house.
At the door?
I told my son, I said, put these gloves on and take this box out there and give it to Twinkie. Don't come in my house.
You got no respect of
person.
person.
Coming to my house.
No respect of person. You're not coming to my house.
Right.
Hey.
Right.
Oh my gosh. This is so much fun.
Oh my goodness.
So the biopic, I want to hear more. Do you have any? Well, I know you're not gonna give no spoilers, but I know you guys saw it already. How was it when you saw it?
I didn't know.
You didn't see it?
I have not seen it.
You're gonna see it with the rest of us?
That's why I didn't watch it. Because, and let me tell you something, I wanted to have the same feeling that the audience would have. So my sisters, my husband even made some corrections in some of the parts on it, but he died, so he won't even get a chance to see it. I don't know what they are because I've never watched it. I don't even watch the previews. When they come on, I scroll past them. I won't watch it because I want to have the same feeling and the mindset that everybody else is going to have. So I've never seen it.
Wow, that's crazy, Jack. Wow, I'm gonna feel special now. You're gonna be watching it with the rest of us.
Oh
yeah.
My gosh.
What happened, Dorinda? You got somebody send you some money?
Oh no.
What?
All these people is really thanking us and wait, they said they gonna watch the movie. Oh my God.
I don't know why you surprised.
What is you looking at?
Terrell, oh my goodness.
What Terrell say?
This is really something.
Where are you? We not.
I'm sorry, y'all.
This is in real time. This is perfect. I love candid stuff like this.
This is really crazy. I mean,
Dorinda,
these people.
Why are you so surprised? Do you know who you are? Do y'all know who y'all are?
Oh my God. This is really sad. I know. We talking about this. Duh.
What is you looking at, Dorinda?
It is this was on one of our fan pages. It's probably on our page. I'm just not looking at it though. It's just
y'all really look at those pages? Y'all really look at the fan pages?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Praise the Lord.
We look at our fan pages because they, of course, you know, we be knowing what they be putting up there and stuff they need to take down.
Hello.
Right.
And we don't let them just do anything they want to do now. We just tell them.
But right. Hasan, you know, I was watching the Terrell thing, and I remember that moment. And when I was watching it, it just like I was just kind of surfing through my Instagram, and when I saw it, I started laughing so hard, and I kept trying to say, when did we do that? When did we do that? Because there's so many moments that you will see, and I'm so silly. And I think the reason why I'm so silly, let me just say this. I think the reason why I'm so silly and funny is because coming up, I had to always be responsible because my mother knew she could trust me to make sure that my sisters were going to be safe, make sure that nothing, you know, that everything was okay with them. And so I missed out on a lot of having fun like they did. And so now I think in my older life, I think that's why I'm so silly and crazy the way I am. And just being, and I don't know if you saw me and Michelle. Did you see the interview with me and Michelle?
Michelle who, Williams?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh,
she
God.
Did it on, is it
I
on
ain't gonna
Fox
say that.
Soul?
You gotta watch it. You gotta
watch it on Fox Soul, Jacky?
Yeah.
Is it on Fox Soul? Yeah.
Is that Fox Soul? Yeah, with Michelle.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you. You gotta go watch it.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it as soon as we done. Oh, you must have been cutting up on there.
He was.
Wait a minute. I looked at Hasan and I said, "Did I say that?"
Oh my God!
This
These
is
people
great.
are just oh.
Oh my goodness.
They're showing y'all mad love. But Dorinda, I don't
They
believe you're
really
so
are.
surprised.
I am surprised.
Yeah, we are.
I'm surprised because first of all, it's this is something to see. This kind of reminds you of the Wendy Williams thing that happened to us.
Hello.
Okay.
We was all dragging her.
See, that right there, y'all. That's what I'm talking about.
Everybody was mad at her.
Doing, that right there, what Hasan is doing, that's how people were. They were really like, oh,
you wasn't having. I even tweeted her, and I don't do stuff like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? You don't know the.
Oh my goodness.
But wait, but Hasan, let me tell you, the killing part about that was when she came back and apologized. Mm-hmm. We still ain't heard from her office. But let me say this.
But we appreciate her apology. We appreciate her apology. We appreciate
her little
it.
Weak, her little weak
apology. Watch yourself now. Watch yourself. Leave that alone now.
Okay, sorry.
The evangelist has spoken.
There it is.
Right.
So I just, you know what, the thing of it is that when initially when the Clark sisters first did About the Sunshine, you know, it was out 2 years before it ever came out. When we did the interview, she was an intern when we did the interview. I don't think she remembers that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she was an intern at that station. Yeah, mm-hmm. She was an intern. Yeah. So, you know, and I just think that she just didn't remember, because for her to come back and apologize, I think that said a lot for who she was as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Yeah, and I think because if it hadn't been a backlash with the people getting on her, you know, she may not have done it, but because of that, she did come back and apologize, and we appreciate her for that.
Yeah,
we still have mad love for her. We want everybody to be happy. God bless.
Yes, and it speaks to your fans though, because people
exactly
in the uproar about it, like, wait,
the
Clark sisters are close to our heart. You know, you guys
are and
our Michael Jackson, our Jackson 5.
Yeah, and that's exactly how the people were, and we was like, we didn't even have to say nothing. It was like even when we came on to thank them, it was like y'all really fought for us. We didn't have to do it. And then they had all these purities going on.
Right.
It was so funny.
It was true.
Yeah, but we, you know, and that's what I feel, Hasan, to answer your question. That's how I feel right now, is you feel that kind of energy from the fans, and you know, just to even look to see how Taraji had gave us a shout out and said, listen, y'all got to look at these girls, you know. And so it's things like that, and then of course Missy and Queen and Mary J. Blige, who, you know, these are the executive producers who really kind of pulling their friends to look at it. So it's that kind of feeling. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah. What do you guys want, Dorinda? What do you guys want people to get out of the story? Because, you know, you guys are a family, and a lot of your, you know, the family businesses out there, like the stuff with Denise, and it's like friction and all that stuff. So what do you want people to get out of the story? And just let people know, like, family is family. We got stuff going on in every family, not just black or white. We all have something.
Right. So, and you just said it. You know, nobody doesn't have family problems. Everybody has family problems. Okay. We all have different ways of how we interact. We have different ways of how we, you know, do things. Even, you know, even though we're sisters, there's still some things that we don't agree with each other. Mm-hmm. And it's okay to agree to disagree, you know.
Right.
And so that's why it's really important that we want people to know with this movie is that it's our life. It's our real life. And, you know, that's all that's out now on television is reality show, is to talk about the realness of what goes on behind closed doors. And so for us to really kind of bring this story to life, I believe it's going to help a lot of families, a lot of families that started out singing. And, you know, when we get grown and we get, you know, married and stuff like that, they split their, you know, and never come back together. But we stuck together. We're still together. So that's one of the things I want them to See, and then I haven't said this on any interview. Your mothers and your fathers, they see the gift in you. There's no way that you can have the success that you have without recognizing where it all started. And for it to start with your mother and father, you know, we need to really kind of, you know, our mother and father's not here no more. So those that do have parents that are still around, you need to reach back to them and tell them, you know, we appreciate you starting us out like this. You know, because they're the first ones that can see the gift in you. If they see the gift in you, they'll start investing in you, and that's what they're doing. But, you know, sometimes family, you know, when we get grown and we so grown and till nobody can't tell us nothing, then you lose out. You know?
Right.
So they need to respect that from their parents and let them know, you know, hey, you know, look, the way things are going now, people are leaving here like left and right. You need to reach back and say, you know, I appreciate you. I love you. You know, and thank you for where you brought me. Thank you for what you taught me.
That's right.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jacky, it's a part in the movie where, and this went viral, when Twinkie sold her publishing and for a car. Do you remember that moment?
That's not funny, Jacky. That's not funny.
Look, she got the money, she got the publishing back. Praise the Lord.
That's not funny.
Listen, I was so mad at her for that. And so now that is the only scene that I did see, because we were able to see that when we went to do our scene, which was the last scene of the movie.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
You remember?
Thank you.
No, that was the only scene that I saw. He's talking to you. She's talking to you. Have you seen
I'm talking to you. Don't give it away.
You just gave a little nugget. Thank you,
right.
Jacky.
Okay. No, but see, the thing is, shoot, hang up. What was that? Stop it. Wait, hold on. Okay. All right. So that scene, I remember that very well because I was angry with her, but I think who got the most angry with her probably was Mama, because she did it and didn't talk to Mama beforehand.
Right.
And as we were being raised, and with my mom, everything that we did always was run by her first. So I think that was the reason why it was so impactful.
Right.
That's good, Jacky. That was good. I hadn't heard it like that.
Yeah.
And I know that's the question that everybo's asking.
Everybody's gonna be asking.
What made her do that? But then too, the other thing is that Twinkie felt like, you know, I can do what I want to do now, you know, and because she has been writing all these songs, getting all this, you know, publicity, and then Mama was managing her, so she had nothing came to her. She sees these people in the secular world getting stuff, so she never really had anything. But Mama was afraid that she would get that and then just want to say, I don't want to be, you know, I'm going to live my own life.
Right.
Which it almost did happen.
No, but I don't even know if this part is, I better not say that because it might be in the movie. I don't know.
Go ahead, just say it, Jacky, go ahead.
No, shut up, Hasan. Shut up, Hasan.
No. Dorinda, you remember that scene about when we was doing that scene when we were all when Twinkie was going to leave us? You remember that?
Yes. And she wanted to live her own life. Is that in the movie?
Okay, so then I can talk about it. I want Hasan to see that. Yeah. I can't. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just wait. I'll wait.
All right,
so we'll talk to you again though when it's out, Hasan. You gotta have us back. You gotta.
Oh, yeah. I get all of y'all, even Twinkie. We're gonna get Twinkie on here too.
Yes. She'll be okay by then. She's doing much better.
She'll be okay by then. The corona be passed over her house.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Right.
My Lord. Me and Kiera was talking yesterday. She was like, she feel like she had a touch of it. I feel like I had a touch of it. Like, this thing is really crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And it's like getting in the throat though. That's the thing. And you know, us as singers, we like, oh God, we don't want it in our throat. We don't, because if it gets in the throat, it go into the lungs.
Yeah.
Well, it not only if it gets into the throat, Dorinda, but if it gets into your nasal passages, period. And the thing that's really important is that you can inhale it or you can take it in because it is airborne. Wow. And because it is airborne. And Hasan, you be careful too with the beard. because they're finding out that it can lay in the beard. You need to trim it down.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's really important is that remember to wash our hands. After we have used hand sanitizer 3 times, you need to wash your hands with soap and water.
Okay.
For 20 seconds, you need to remember to do that. That's real important.
Yeah.
I just called my son today and told him to cut that beard off, because a lot of young men are dying because they didn't understand why it was being like a rush of men coming in, and it was because of the beard.
Jacky, I gotta cut my beard off?
You don't have to. I mean, you don't have to. Now you can keep it on.
Oh Jesus.
Welcome coronavirus.
But Jacky, doesn't it it land on the hair fibers, right?
It doesn't. Yes, Dorinda, you're right. It lands on the hair, and then as you know how y'all men do, you're always doing this.
Yeah.
Right.
And it gets into your nares. It goes into your nose.
Oh Lord, I forgot the nurse is on. Jesus Christ.
Right.
I'm not telling you to cut I'm not telling you to cut it off. But what I am telling you to do is to trim it and make it shorter. So that it is not, you know what I'm saying? Make it shorter. Even the hairs around your mouth, when your mustache, make it shorter. And just neaten it up, like so that it's not so apparent that when somebody because it's airborne. If somebody sneezes, it can land and stay on your nails and your nose, on your mustache for up to an hour.
This is so crazy. This thing gotta go.
It does.
It don't have no name. Listen, you notice how it is. It don't have no name, no number, no address. And I was listening to Erica the other day talking about she wanted Corona to go back to her house. For her to go home.
Yes, go back home, Corona. Go back home, sister.
Go home.
But people just don't understand the reason why they're telling us to stay home and to stay safe is because of the way it's spread. Yeah. And you have to understand that, like, I have three dear nurse friends to me right now on the respirator.
Really,
young nurses
Jacky?
that just became nurses that I was training are in the hospital on vents right now.
Really?
34, 28, and 26.
Oh my God. Young.
Really?
Yeah, it's sad.
So wait, Jacky, you think, is it because of the work that they do and being around the patients? You think they probably...
I think that because see, what happens is once a person if we're not taking the temperature like we're supposed to, when it first started, see, they waited too late to say something. He should have talked about it in November when he found out. When Trump found out about it,
I was going to say, who you talking about?
You know who you talking about.
You're talking about 45, 45 of...
Right, but this is when they knew about it, was in November. Mm-hmm. So had we known about it then, we could have been taking some, precautions. But what happens is people get it and it'll lie dormant first, because some people can give it but don't have it.
Right.
They can carry the virus but don't have it.
I heard that.
So you have to be. So what happens is they get sick, and then when some nurses can become careless. So when we're working with 20, 30 patients, you get careless. You know what I'm saying? And God just will help us so that we don't go to the wrong person and haven't washed our hands, haven't changed our clothes, haven't made sure that, we putting on a mask, don't go in talking. You don't know how you're getting it. You don't know if somebody, this is why you want to keep away from people coming to your house. If you don't know where I've been. Yeah. And if I've been in the hospital with nothing on, no protective, no PPE, you don't even know who I've been surrounded with. Right. So I can come in your house, sit down, put my hand on your table, and then stay there.
Wow.
Until you wash it down with some bleaching water.
Wow.
So wait, have you guys hung out? Like, have you hung out with Dorinda or Karen? Like, you haven't seen each other?
We can see. Yeah, we see each other because we all protected.
I've been to Dorinda's house. But you got to understand. Then there was another young man who's really close to our family, and he wanted to come over to Dorinda's house, and I was on my way to Dorinda's house that day, and so he was following me. I called him on the phone. I said, "You can't come to Dorinda's house. This is my sister. Right. I know she ain't been nowhere. I know where she been, and she ain't been out of her house. So no, you cannot come." Yeah. But you gotta be careful.
Be careful.
Right. And that's true too, because I was thinking about that, Jacky, with these young people that are out here now, because young people can't stay in the house.
Keep
And this is
partying.
it's eating them up, and they're just partying and just having all, and they don't understand that they're actually spreading it everywhere they go.
By being
That's
together.
why.
Close proximity. That's why they're telling you 6 feet.
Yeah. I told
That's
my
why
daughter.
they say that.
My daughter's going crazy, but I'm like, you can't go anywhere. I'm sorry. Like,
Good for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Father. Thank you.
I was with y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't take this.
They need that. And see, the thing you have to remember, the millennials don't, like, they don't believe that. I mean, they're living through a thing that they have never seen before in their life. As old as I am, Hasan, I've never seen this. So we have to be careful. So you're right. Make her stay her tail at home.
She's staying.
And be safe. There you go.
Her birthday's in 2 weeks. She already put on my calendar, like, my birthday's canceled. I was like, it's not canceled. It's just not.
No.
Right.
We can't do what we was gonna do, but we're gonna do it on a smaller version in the house.
Yeah, in the house.
Right. And then she could do Zoom too. You just let her do
Have
Zoom.
a Zoom party, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what my grandson did.
Yeah. Let her do Zoom. We did Zoom on my grandson's birthday.
Grandson.
Yeah, and it was really, really fun because everybody came on and they was wishing them, happy birthday. We had a birthday cake and everything. So and then they're doing the drive-bys too, so they can drive by.
Yeah,
happy
they
birthday
drive
stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh my God, I can literally talk to y'all forever. This is how I was with Kiara. Me and Kiara's very cool. Like, when she comes to New York, I take her shopping. She spends a whole bunch of money. I said, I don't know how poor I am until I hang out with you, Kiara.
Right.
So I am now your new nephew, okay? So I'm Detroit.
All right, you are that.
When this is all over, I'm coming. I'm hanging out with y'all.
You coming?
Promise.
I'm coming. I'm telling you.
Okay, we're going to be looking for you.
I'm coming. I love you. I love you guys. This was great. I look forward to seeing the movie tomorrow. Can you guys I guess leave us with the word? I'll let Dorinda, the preacher, leave us with the word of encouragement for because a lot of people are going through, especially in this area, New York, Philly. It's so many pastors passing away. It's unbelievable, and a lot of people are struggling.
Right.
So what can you say to them, Dorinda?
I want to say that, this is, like Jacky said, this is something that we've never experienced. And, of course, with God, nothing is new under the sun. But I believe that God has us, Hasan, on a shutdown for a reason.
Absolutely.
And it's not just here in America. It is all over the world. Yeah. And it's just really something how even during election and all these other things that they were, kind of strumming up to have, and all these other things, how God can take something and cancel all the plans around the world so that people can sit and say, and I believe God's saying, now what can you say to me?
Right.
What can I help you with?
You're right.
This is what God is saying to the world.
America.
What can I help you? Because it doesn't matter who it is, because it's affecting everybody. It's affecting every home. It's affecting, even if it's not in your home, you're an extension. There's an extension of your home. Even if they're far away, it's affecting us in a way that it does not matter how much money you have. It does not matter how rich you are, how poor you are, what kind of celebrity you are. It's like God is saying, okay, so can I just talk to you for a moment?
Right.
And can I just tell you that coronavirus has no name? A coronavirus, like Jacky says, has no address. It comes. And if you really need help, all you got to do is just talk to me. That's what God is saying. Wow. And I just want to share that, and even on that note, with all of the gospel artists that we're connected with and connected to, this is a wake-up call for us, that we cannot afford to be without a shepherd.
Yep. Exactly.
You cannot afford to continue to be inspired and to do all these wonderful things, get engagements and appointments and one right after the other, and not go back home and hear your leader.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they are in your life to help you to get through your life spiritually. And that is so important. I just want to say that to all of our sisters and brothers that are in the same field that we're in. You know, this is a wake-up call. And even with the tithing, that's why tithing is important. Because you'll never feel the hump. Thank God for the stimulus. Hey, the stimulus packages that are coming to our house. Hallelujah. Thank you, God.
Amen.
Well, y'all make a little too much money, so I don't know if y'all getting it, but be encouraged.
Oh God, that's what I'm saying. Tithing helps. Yes, Lord. Tithing helps to keep the cash flow coming. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
That even when you get in these kinds of droughts, that God still sustains you and He allows you to work off of what you have until He'll give you favor for what you want. Lord, I can't even say it again.
Yes. It's true. It's true.
Woo. So that's what I want to say. I know this is a time of we're so empathetic, and we're in mourning for those that are mourning, and we're definitely praying for those that are going through this terrible virus. Of course, we're looking at that God will continue to work miracles as He's doing, that they would find a vaccine to be able to go through even inside of the vents, so that they will be able to clear their lungs so that they can get back on the road of recovery. And I really believe that that's what God is going to do, that God's going to speak to the doctors and give them that vaccine that they need to get these people back up and running again. And I'm just praying, and certainly we're looking for God to do miracles for the Shear family. Of course, Bishop Jeju Shear and the brother, their mother and father, were tested positive for the virus. But God is doing some awesome things. We see Him turning some things around, all because of the prayer calls that have been going up all around the world. So we want to just, keep everybody in prayer, that God will bring us through this. Thank you for that time.
Yes, thank you. Oh man, this is amazing. Jacky is the most sensitive. She got a little emotional right there. And rightfully so. Rightfully so.
No, that's
you were just thinking the goodness of Jesus, Jacky. It's all right. You were just thinking.
Yes, it is good. Yeah, she's really been going through, even in this time.
Yeah.
And I'm just, praying. And she said something that was very interesting about her husband. And I don't know if she mentioned it to you, Jacky. We was talking about Glenn, because Glenn was on the waiting list for a lung.
A lung. Yeah.
Wow.
He was on the waiting list for a lung. So I thank God that, and the thing that really hits my heart the most is the fact that these people that have lost their loved ones, Hasan, they cannot have a funeral.
No.
They cannot have a funeral. But the Lord allowed my husband to take in at the time that He did, and we gave him a good homegoing service. Yeah. I'm telling you, from me, I know that if my husband had died during this time and they told me I couldn't see him, they would have put me in the grave with my husband. I'm serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
So I'm grateful that in his passing that it happened the way it did, because when I look at these people that are having to bury their loved ones without a homegoing service, that is a part of the grieving process.
Yeah. Right.
This is a whole step in the grieving process. They can't see him. You ain't letting them in the hospital, and you want to call me and say, well, you're dead.
And
really?
Yeah.
And a lot of times what they're doing is they're cremating them. Like, it's just.
They have to. They have to, because too many people are dying. I was talking to my friend who's a florist in here, and she said that on last week they had 12 bodies at this one funeral home, and in a 24-hour period they had 17 more until they had to stop taking bodies. So what do they do? So they can't have a funeral. It's really unfair.
Yeah.
So we just gotta pray for these people and pray for the strength of losing their loved ones. And so when Dorinda was talking, it just really brought home to me, because nobody knows what it's like to lose a loved one and not be able to say goodbye to them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's unfathomable. Like I can't even fathom that.
It
Like,
really
wow.
is. It is.
Yeah, and we all know people who have been affected by that. I know people personally who cannot bury their loved ones.
Right.
Yeah, it's the unthinkable. And
Yeah.
this stuff, even what we're going through now, it just puts me in mind of your songs, like "Pray for the USA" and
absolutely
"For Miracle." Like this stuff is for right now.
Yes, and
yes.
Hasan, we were talking about that because I think this is now the time to really have the song Victory to really start, wetting the airways again. I know we kind of got lost in it because that virus had came, but now is the time to really start speaking victory. And people can do it. That's right. Declare it in their homes, declare it over their loved ones. This is the time to really speak it in the atmosphere. Because if we don't have a miracle, we're going to be continuing to keep losing lives.
Yeah,
right.
And
so and that's very true. The problem with that is that we have not reached the pinnacle yet. We still we won't be able to see until we get over the curve. We won't see how it's going down. No. So that's why people got to stay at home. These young people need to stay out the street. Stay your tail at home.
Y'all better listen to Nurse Jacky. Y'all better listen to Nurse Jacky. I'm telling you. She's talking right. Stay your tail at home. And Jacky, I'm nervous because the warmer it gets outside, the harder it's going to be for people to stay inside. So
right. And that's what I'm so scared of.
Yeah, we have to listen. You gotta listen to what they're telling us to do. Stay home and stay safe. That's the most important thing. And be prayerful and ask God to cover your house.
That's it. That's what we can do.
And then you gotta sing our song Victory and say no, not Victory. You gotta sing It's Not Coming to My House. That's Dorinda's song.
Right. That's right.
That's Dorinda's song.
No, that's your song. That's your song.
Oh, it sure is.
It is power. That's power, y'all. Y'all need to hear that song so you can speak.
The album is amazing and it's out. It's out. The physical copies are out today.
So, are they?
Yes. Look, Jacky ain't even Lord Jacky. Jacky been nursing.
I didn't know
not nursing, but nursing.
Nikki had to even laugh at that.
I didn't know. No. I thought when you said physical, what did you mean?
The CD.
The CD.
Well, you could go and buy it.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that. I thought it was you could only download it.
Yeah, that was a few weeks ago. But now the physical copies you can get, which I want because I'm all with the digital.
Oh, wow.
I like credits, and it's hard to see the credits on Apple Music and all that. Like
they're not letting you do it. Yeah,
it's annoying to me because I love music and I used to run home and look at the credits, who wrote what and all that stuff.
Right.
So I'm gonna order it on Amazon. Everybody else, you should order it too.
Oh, I gotta do that. I'm glad you said it.
Jacky, you ordered a copy too.
Okay, I'm gonna order one too because I don't have one. Matter of fact, I'm gonna order it right now while we're talking.
We all ordering
together. On our phone, but you know what? Don't let your phone get cut off because they're gonna take all them downloads away. You gotta re-download them.
No. What you
Ask me, I know.
That's on her phone. That's
not
on her phone.
What kind of phone is you got an iPhone?
She gotta go in the cloud.
She gotta go in the cloud and get her stuff.
I said you gotta go in the cloud.
Listen, I don't know what cloud it was in, but it was cloud gone, okay?
It was cloudy.
Cloud gone.
It was cloudy,
It was cloudy.
It was cloudy.
They took all our stuff. Oh God.
All my music was taken. It was gone.
Oh no.
It was gone. I had to install all that stuff. And even songs that I had years ago that I had on there, I couldn't get them up. So
that's a pain.
I had to re-download them.
And Jacky, your song with Mary J. Blige, that joint is hot.
Ain't it
Thank
nice?
You.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
Nice. It really is.
I love the way y'all all do your own thing separately and then come back.
Yes.
It's amazing.
And you know what I think about that is, I think if more groups who had more groups who had started when we did, had they allowed themselves opportunities to do things separately but come back together, I think there will be a lot more groups still together today. But because they didn't have, everybody want to be the leader. Everybody want to start their own thing.
Yeah.
They never think about the fact that if the box worked when we had it all in one thing, then that works. So even though you want to step outside the box and do your own thing, come back in the box and stay together.
Yeah.
That's what my mom wants to do.
That's where ego comes into play, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. And that's very true.
But that's what I can say about even with commission.
Right.
How they came right on back together.
And
then it's amazing how they all just took the world by storm, because every one of their concerts are jam packed because people
absolutely
they missed that.
Right.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. So that means you girls are going on a tour?
Oh, we not saying nothing to you, Hasan. You're so nosy. You're so nosy.
You're saying right, Dorinda. I'm feeling some kind of way.
Nosy. What you trying to prophesy or being nosy?
I'm prophesying again.
Oh, God.
There shall be a tour. Sold out.
What you say? So we'll receive that. We'll receive it. Thank you, Jesus.
Sold out tour. Y'all got to go on tour now.
That would be nice.
Don't make the mistake that New Edition made.
I don't even know if we're gonna be able to go on tour this year. We done canceled so many concerts that we got to reschedule.
God, I know.
We pushed all the way back.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I know our office has canceled at least maybe 20, 25 concerts.
What?
Yeah, because of the
y'all
virus.
Can't go to 2021. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And then we had the Mother's Day thing with the major producer with Al.
Major thing.
That was we did that last year. Yeah. Yep. So it was just and then we had Atlanta. Oh, y'all, we coming when go to his house.
I'm in my house.
Go to his house.
This is great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And we got to do it again. The movie tomorrow on Lifetime at 8 p.m. Eastern. So everybody check it out.
Yep. All right.
Love you, man.
All right. Love y'all.
Okay. Take care.
All
right.
Bye.
Tell JoJo I say hey.
Yeah, Jojo, we say hi.
JoJo,
you wasn't saying nothing. Why wasn't you saying something?
Wait, I can't unlock myself. Hold on.
Unlock yourself, JoJo.
There you go. Hey, JoJo.
Hey. I couldn't unlock myself. Hi, y'all. I can't wait for the movie.
Oh, wow. We can't wait either. We're excited.
I'm just here to help Hasan produce this little interview. That's all.
Oh, but that's good. That's good. You do what you do, girl. We love you.
Love you, too. I can't wait.
Okay,
congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.